Hello, everyone, and welcome to the A&M Network. It's going to be a bit of a podcast, which we haven't done in a long time here on the channel, but wanted to chat a lot of basketball. We have a lot going on in the NBA. We are in the middle of the NBA Finals, so this is going to be quite an interesting time as we are coming up next week, a week from today. Will be the NBA draft. We've got a lot of trades coming in, so it's going to be a very interesting time for the NBA. So I want to go through some of the news that's going around, and I plan to do a lot more videos, by the way, in the coming weeks and months in this just the realm of NBA. So hopefully we'll have a lot more consistent content coming from now. So first and foremost, let's go through the big news. Obviously, the biggest news is KD. So unfortunately, he did get injured in Game 5, did his Achilles injury, and it is a ruptured Achilles. So you're looking at pretty much a year of him on the sideline. So definitely going to make next year's NBA very interesting with him not in there. See how how the West plays out if he were to stay at Golden State. But obviously the biggest thing is, teams aren't going to sit there and go, oh, you're injured with an Achilles, we're not going to sign you. He's still Kevin Durant. He's still going to get signed for a large contract and definitely going to go for the max. So will he move? Will he just stay in Golden State? Depends, I guess. I mean, this will probably show you, I think the biggest thing, this will show you if he has any ill will towards the Golden State medical team. Because if he thinks, oh, their medical team is the reason this happened, then there's no way he's staying. He's leaving 100%. He's going to somewhere else. Now, I don't know if, as the camera does some terrible things there, I don't know if it is the case, if it really was their medical team saying, oh, no, he's fine, and he wasn't fine. I don't think that's the case. There was a report that came out that supposedly it was a joint effort. There was a few people. It was inside doctors. It was second opinion. It was the agent. It was him. They all cleared him. That was saying he was fine, and that was no chance. There was no chance, and there was to them no risk of that happening. Rather, there was still a little bit of risk of his calf getting re-injured, but that's about it. So it'll be interesting. I mean, that's also one of those things. If that's true and he got cleared from everyone and there was a second opinion and it's then just a freak of nature injury, and end of the day, sometimes injuries are most injuries are just freak of nature injuries. I think it happened at a time as well where it was it doesn't seem like it is, and it was the same leg. It probably was a little bit damaged and they didn't see it. And, there's a mistake from multiple people there. Obviously, only the doctors would have seen that, so maybe the internal doctors and the external second opinion both got it wrong. Who knows? But one thing I think it will lead into what KD's decision is. Hey, if the best doctors are in New York, maybe he goes to a New York or a Brooklyn to be around those doctors and make sure he gets the right care. So, the interesting where he goes, I do still think he leaves Golden State and he'll probably go to a New York or a Brooklyn. Brooklyn's coming up a lot now in the news. Especially, and it leads into the next topic I was going to talk about, and that's Kyrie Irving has declined his player option. Surprise! So he's gone from Boston. Where does he go? So the biggest news at the moment is, and the biggest chance supposedly at the moment is Brooklyn, and which is interesting. Obviously, they have D'Angelo Russell now. They can play together. It's not they can't play together in the same team, but it'll be interesting to see how they go and what they do with that. Because, we've seen it now this year. I don't think, and I think this is a general consensus, that Kyrie Irving can lead a team. Now, he could eventually be able to do that, but I don't think he can now. So I think it needs to be Kyrie Irving and someone else. And I'd feel really bad to see D'Angelo Russell get shipped out. Because, he's proven himself at Brooklyn. He left the Lakers. No one knew what he was going to become. And this year became an all-star for the first time. So it will be a really big shame if he leaves because of that. But this is the thing that comes up. I haven't seen too many people talk about it. Is if they sign Kyrie Irving, and if they go, well, we don't really need D'Angelo Russell anymore, where does Russell go? That could be an interesting. would be a very intriguing thing. Where do you put a D'Angelo Russell if he's going to leave? He's a good player, very good player. What teams then stand up and go, oh, I really want to have D'Angelo Russell? As I have a crow outside my window, which is really annoying me. Anyway, so to see where that goes, obviously there's going to be a lot of free agent talk over the next 2 weeks, which will be very intriguing to see who goes where and what happens. But yeah, D'Angelo Russell is going to be an interesting one. I believe is he contracted through this season though? I'm actually going to look this up. D'Angelo Russell contract. Is he contracted through this season? Because I know he's coming up to it, isn't he? Pretty sure he's coming up to it. Let's have a look. No, he's contracted for this season. He's contracted for next season. So next season is his last year. He's actually his last year is a rookie contract next year. So he is on only $9 million next year, which is really small. And he'd be looking at getting a big contract into next year. So that'd be very interesting. Because if they sign, if Brooklyn signs Kyrie Irving and they do sign a Kevin Durant and wait the year for him, will they have the money to re-sign a D'Angelo Russell? Maybe it would be better off then to trade him and make sure you have the space for your future All-Stars. If they don't get 2 All-Stars, they keep both. I think they'll have that. They'll have the D'Angelo Russell and Kyrie Irving as a backcourt. Could be really interesting. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, that's an intriguing one. With all those rumors going around. Personally, where do I want to see Kyrie go? I want to see him go to the Lakers. I want to see him go back to LeBron James and see them work together again. I think that'll be really cool. Now, do I want to see Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis in the same team? God, no. It's too many good players in one team. But it'll be very interesting. I think LeBron is still very good. He declined. He's still very good. And he still will be good next year, I believe. And Kyrie Irving's still good. He's just not an A star. I think he's a B star. He's the second guy on the team. And with Anthony Davis, it'd be very, very interesting to see how he fits in that. So that's definitely an interesting thing to see how that works out. We might as well talk actually a little bit about an Anthony Davis and where he's going to go as well. Now, the rumors are at the moment he's going to go to a New York or LA. The dude wants just the big city. That's all he wants. He wants a big place. He wants a big market. So where does he go? To me, it's a no-brainer. He's going to LA. They've got the better trade option. And I mean, you don't look at it from where does he want to play? It doesn't really matter. But what does New Orleans take? And I think New Orleans will want to have the LA pick and the young guys in Ball, Kuzma, and Ingram. If they can get those things, then I think it's going to be a pretty easy deal to make. And then you've got 2 very young guys in New Orleans, and in terms of the 2 high draft picks, 1 and 4, and then you get multiple young guys to pair with them. And I think that's brilliant. I think that's absolutely brilliant. And I think Alonzo Ball with the Zion is a very good mix. That's an excellent 2 things. Now, the rumors at the moment, New Orleans are looking for a 3-team trade. So they want to send Anthony Davis there. They want to probably get some things back, and then also send some things to another team and get something else back. So they're not happy entirely with that. There was a list that came out. They wanted an all-star or a promising all-star draft picks. They want one of those things. Understandable. They want another all-star back. But who are you going to get? Are you going to get a D'Angelo Russell? That could be your trade. We can go back to that. We can go that, you trade. So Kyrie goes to Brooklyn, which would be interesting anyway, like I said before. That leaves D'Angelo Russell free, but he's an all-star, so that's great. And then you get Alonzo Ball, Ingram and Kuzma, and you trade Lonzo Ball to Brooklyn for D'Angelo Russell. Maybe it's Lonzo Ball and a future first round pick. Why not? Why not? If I'm signing Kyrie and I'm Brooklyn, I'm doing that trade. I'm doing that trade 100%. Get a defensive pass first point guard next to Kyrie that could run the offense as well. Could be good. You've seen two ball dominant guards work in Houston, so don't see why it couldn't work in Brooklyn with Lonzo Ball and D'Angelo Russell. He's leaving. Lonzo Ball and Kyrie Irving. It could be a trade. Something to look out for, definitely. Definitely something to look out for. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. But there's a lot of rumors flying around, and we're not going to really know what's going to happen for another week, really. A lot will happen at the draft next week, and between now and next week. So I will make videos in that time when major things happen. Right now, we're just going to talk about the different rumors and stuff. And I have, by the way, I haven't figured out how frequent I'm going to do these videos. I might even do them daily. We will see. Not over the off season, obviously, because there's not as much to talk about. It might be once a week over the off season. But then as the season rolls back around, or there's major stuff, we'll do more videos. So I'll point that out. So, last thing. So they're the major rumors around. Obviously, there's still some rumors around the other free agents like a Kemba Walker and stuff like that. And the Kawhi Leonard, which we'll get to. Not that way, but just in terms of talking about him. But none of that stuff is really concrete. There's no there's most likely he's going there. Or he's most likely going there. So we don't know that yet. For anyone other than really Kyrie, that's the big one, and Anthony Davis. However, we just still have some basketball games going on. Game 6, now, from me in Australia, Game 6 is tomorrow. It is in 15 hours' time. So, Game 6 of the Oracle, the last ever game at the Oracle, we have Golden State Warriors versus Toronto Raptors. Whoa, I gotta say, in previewing this, I think that Toronto wins Game 6. Yes, I think the crowd is going to go absolutely mental in the Oracle. But and it's not a matter of KD's down. KD's down the whole time, and they've done really well, obviously. But to me, this is how I look at it. In Game 5, Golden State had an absolutely incredible shooting performance. And Toronto didn't really play that well. Kawhi played terrible, other than that 10-point spurt. He really offensively played really bad. And they lost by 1 point. And really, they should have won. They were up by 6. Until that 9-0 run from Golden State with 2 minutes to go. They started a 9-0 run. So, that's one of me. I think that it's going to be a Toronto victory. I think Toronto gets their first championship, tomorrow. I think that's just how it's going to have to work. And I think it's going to work that way because, to me, I can't see Toronto going back-to-back really bad. I can see Golden State back really good. But I think they'll still be able to beat them. So, my pick at the moment, if I'm going to go with it, it is Toronto Raptors to win Game 6 by 13 points. Yeah, that's right. Over 10. I don't think it'll be that close. Really. I think it'll end up being a blowout at the end. I think at the end of the game, it'll end up being a blowout. And you'll see a Toronto win. And a Toronto championship for the first time in their history. So, that's my personal opinion. Now, I fucking hope that it doesn't end up being Golden State wins, go to Game 7 in Toronto. The only good thing about a Game 7 in Toronto, if Toronto wins in Toronto, that would be a really cool moment for the fans. But we'll see what happens. But that's my personal opinion. Let me know what you think and what your prediction is for Game 6. And let me know who you think the MVP will be. Obviously, I think it's going to be Kawhi, but I mean, if you think Golden State's going to make it all the way through and win the whole thing, is it Curry? Let me know. So, there are the major things and the major news roundup today in the NBA. I will talk to you tomorrow. I might make a video tomorrow. I think I will. I'll make a video tomorrow after Game 6. And let you know what I felt. Probably just a short one. And if it's a Toronto victory and it's a new champion, we might have to start previewing next year. Thank you very much for watching, guys. My name's Andrew. Take care.